Good morning, my little fly. Did you sleep well in our new web? Wonderful. I went ahead and let you sleep in while I went to fetch some things for breakfast. Some nice juicy venison and bird eggs for you, and a couple of these giant dragonflies for me. I can share if you're curious, of course. Oh, I'm just teasing. Silly little thing. But mark my words, one day I'm positive that you'll finally try some and love it. I mean, aren't humans always lining up to eat lobster? I'd say this is like that, but better. Anyway, let me cook this up for you. It's my absolute pleasure. A mother should be able to cook breakfast for her child, don't you think? I've never had the opportunity to do that before. It's not as though I'm helpless on my own. Usually my servants cook meals for me, but I've endeavored to keep up my practical skills. Besides, I want to give my servants a chance to get settled in themselves before they start worrying about my needs. Here you go, little fly. What do you think? I'm not as familiar with cooking human food, but I think I did rather well. Oh, so sweet. Well then, have as much as you like. Our hunters have been hard at work foraging for everyone, so there's plenty to eat. Now, there is something I wanted to propose to you, my child. After the attack, I started thinking about what you need in order to be happy. What I've decided is that you need to become integrated into the spider folk culture. I worry about the fact that I'm the only person who speaks with you. I'd love for you to make some friends. Of course, all this is up to you. I'm not going to push you into something you're not ready for, but if you like, I can help you learn the things you need to know to be more like one of us. That makes me happy, my little fly. In that case, why don't we start with a bit of spiderfolk language? Naturally, that would go a long way towards helping you connect to others. Good. I think you might enjoy this. Of course, I don't expect you to learn it all at once. You might never become fluent, and that's perfectly alright. Most spiderfolk speak at least a bit of the human tongue, but putting forth the effort will show them that you want to be one with us. Now, to start, we have the sounds. In the spiderfolk language, we don't tend to use our voices unless we're upset or communicating from far away, rather like how you humans yell. From the perspective of the spiderfolk, we're actually yelling at each other right now. It's a funny thought, isn't it? Of course, we understand it's just cultural difference, but it still takes some getting used to. So, there are basic sounds of the spiderfolk language. Ch, sh, k, t, sa, ku, ha, and wa. We don't usually do vowels, so it doesn't matter what sound you put in between them. Let's work on your pronunciation first. Start with the first one. Ch. Good. You're already pretty familiar with that one, aren't you? Okay, next one. Sh. Close. It's more like sh. Better. K. T. That one needs a more abrupt sound. More sudden, if that makes sense. T. Okay, we can work on that one more later. S. This one should sound more like a hiss. S. Good, you're doing very well. Ku. We'll probably just have to come back to that one. Next one. Huh. A bit softer, like you're sighing. Huh. Very good. Okay, last one. Wha. There you go. It's not perfect pronunciation, but you're doing very well for your first time. Now, that's not a lot of letters compared to your language. For that reason, spiderfolk words have a lot of syllables. Do you remember the word I taught when we first met? That's right. 4-syllable words like that are actually very common. Our words are long, so we have to make sounds quickly. I'm going to teach you just a few basic words. Hello should be a good start. To say hello, you say chakawa. Oh no, little fly. That's chaka, huh? That means, well, something we won't be talking about. It's chakawa. There you go. Remember the difference, that's important. As for goodbye, it's wa wa ha wa. Very good. Just one more word for today. If you want to say thank you, you go tasakuku. That one's a bit trickier, I know. Tasakuku. That's good enough. We can practice more for another time. There's one more other skill that you'll need some practice with. Climbing. Spider folk spend a lot of time in webs and trees, so you're going to need to climb really well in order to keep up. They've already set up a training course to teach young spiderlings, so we can use that. Go ahead and climb onto my abdomen, and I will take you there. It's inspiring, isn't it? All the spider folk are adapting to their new homes so well. I've never been more proud of my subjects for being so brave. Here's the training course. For the time being, we'll start you off on the easy part. The one meant for the new hatchlings. Oh, I don't mean to compare you to a hatchling, little fly. But while humans can climb, you're not born with the same raw ability that the spider folk are. If you do well, then we can move on to a more challenging track. Yes, this is the one. Does that look harder than you were expecting? I told you, even hatchlings are very good climbers. Now, up you go. Don't worry, I'll be right down here the whole time. Don't rush it, little fly. We have plenty of time. Just take it at a nice, easy pace. Okay, now this is going to be the hard part. It's easy for spiders to climb upside down, but you'll have more trouble. Just make sure you... Oh, careful, careful! No! I've got you. Are you all right? It wasn't that far of a fall, but you don't have an exoskeleton. You had me so worried, dear. I think that's probably enough climbing for today. I mostly just wanted to introduce you to the things I wanted to teach you. There's no need to push ourselves. You've done very well, little fly. I'm so proud of you. There's actually one more thing I want to do to prepare you. This isn't a lesson so much as a gift. Here, take this. It's a dagger that I made for you. The handle is made from my own Cakechan. It's nice and smooth and should rest well in your hand. I've coated it with my very own venom. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Spiderfolk venom just has a paralytic effect. Of course, you should certainly avoid cutting yourself by accident. A small nick will leave you unable to move your hand for about an hour. But it's not as if it's deadly. I wouldn't risk your life in such a way. Of course, my hope is that you never need to use this dagger, but after that knoll attack, well, I realized that I might not always be able to protect you the way I want to. So I want you to be able to defend yourself, if, for any reason, I can't be there for you. Oh, don't say that. I promise I would never ever purposely leave you on your own. You're my dear beloved child, and I want to be able to take care of you. Come here, let me give you a big hug. Oh, hush, I don't care if anybody is watching. In fact, I want everyone to know how important you are to me. I love you so very much, my dear little fly. I know that it was tragedy that brought you to me, but I'm so grateful that you found your way to me. I was beginning to think that I would never be able to have children. Becoming queen made it so difficult to court potential mates. Oh, not because no one was interested in the queen. The problem was that everyone was interested. Too many to sift through, and most of them were only interested in the privileges I could provide them. I had practically given up, but then you were brought right to me. The very moment I saw you, shivering in the cold, remorse, and fear, I knew that I wanted to wrap you up and protect you from the world, and I plan to do that for as long as I live. What, are you embarrassed that I'm saying all this in public? You really are like a little child. All right, I'll let you go, but not before I give you a kiss on the cheek. Oh, and one more thing. Tell me you love me. Come on, let's hear it. I love you too, my child.